Hey and welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and I'm sharing all sorts of travel adventures on this channel. Today I'm taking you on my last and third day in Berlin and then I'm going home. Before diving straight in today's video, if you are interested in the main highlights of Berlin, check out my previous video where I visit all the must-sees of Berlin. As I have seen almost all the main highlights of Berlin, today, together with two of my roommates that I met last night, I take the train to Sachsenhausen. During World War II, Sachsenhausen was a concentration camp where around 200,000 people were imprisoned and around 40,000 people died. The camp is located 35 kilometers from Berlin and is definitely worth a visit, although that sounds a bit weird in this awful context. What I mean is that visiting such a concentration camp is impressive, and even if you're not interested in history, I would suggest to go there. Although I live in Netherlands, I had never been to a concentration camp in Germany. And despite having heard a lot about these camps in history class, it was still confronting to walk around there. The terrain is huge, and if you want to see everything, you can easily spend there a couple of hours like we did. Here you can see the only colorful element of this entire camp: paintings made by prisoners in the kitchen. I must say, for people who might want to visit Sachsenhausen as well, the most shocking elements of this camp I didn't film. Like for example where they executed people and stored the bodies. So while it's super interesting, you won't leave this place super happy. But I don't think that should stop you from visiting places like this. After spending the morning in Sachsenhausen, we went back to Berlin where I said goodbye to my travel buddies and moved on to the Mall of Berlin. And for those of you who watched my previous video, you know that I've already been there once before. But now I'm getting in to buy some presents for my family back home and to check out the food court I've heard of, which is extensive. First, the food court. And then the chocolate, as presents of course. And to end my mall experience, I bought a crepe in this cute small shop. As I knew that the Legoland Discovery Center was close by, I wanted to check it out for a second if there were perhaps some nice sculptures outside. And there were. I had already decided that I would not go in as I was short of time, but if you are considering visiting it, I would do some research on whether you think it's worth it or not. Because while editing this video, I looked into it and I saw a lot of different reviews online. Then it was time to wander around again without having a plan. And the sun seemed to join me on this wandering path. I decided to go into this huge building and found a very interesting toy store. After spending way too long in this shop, I continued and found this lovely ice cream place with many special flavors, of which, of course, I had to taste one. Then I left Potsdamer Platz and took a bus that took me through the whole city back to the Cathedral of Berlin and the TV tower. This, however, wasn't planned at first, But because the sun was out, I felt like I wanted to see these beautiful buildings one more time, despite of that I had already seen them the day before. After having enjoyed this area once more, I took the train to the East Side Gallery. The East Side Gallery is a famous part of the Berlin Wall, where beautiful artworks can be seen on the east side of the wall. These artworks were installed after the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, because before that it was forbidden to paint the wall on the east side. On the west side you can see graffiti that was already created during the Cold War. And there they are, it's an open air museum. As I'm a big fan of art, I loved to just wander along this wall, and it's huge. The wall contains more than 100 paintings by international artists. Here are some shots of the paintings. If you want to see more, check out the bloopers at the end of this video. Special attention is needed here for this artwork that also shines on the cover of my travel guide. Surely it is special to be here for real now after 9 days of biking. As I had met my roommates again, we enjoyed the live music at the water for a bit and went looking for the famous artwork, My God Help Me to Survive This Deadly Love. And there it is. Walking back to the live music, we crossed this funny boat hotel and then we just chilled for a while at the water. Some drinks later, we went on an evening walk and an hour later, we took a bus back to the hostel. Then it was time to pack my bags, have some breakfast and take the train home. After finishing my waffle with too little red fruit, right? I took my bike out of the rest mode and headed to the train station. For this ride I took a lot of time so I wouldn't feel stressed. And as the traffic was at some points quite busy, I was happy I did take enough time. While biking at a slow pace to the station, I thought about 3 days ago when I arrived at the station after my bike trip. What a trip it was! And there it was again, Berlin Hauptbahnhof. As I had some time left before my train departed, I walked around a bit with my bike at the station. After having bought some lunch and snacks, I went to the elevator that brought me to the correct platform. To my surprise, I found a lot of other, mostly Dutch bikers at the platform waiting for the same train. And as we all had a certain thing in common, of course we all started to talk with each other. And they even helped me a lot with getting my bike inside the train when it arrived, as the train entrance was very high and our bikes quite heavy. However, this time when the train would arrive was increasingly delayed. Almost an hour after the estimated time, the train finally arrived. After all these people helped me, and me helping them, or at least trying, the train left and we were all on board with our bikes. Which made that it was now time to relax and enjoy the ride. During the trip, I did some riding, enjoyed the views, listened to music and watched some series. And after being busy for quite some time, first biking and then exploring Berlin, it was nice to now chill for a moment. After around 7 hours in the train, it was time to change to a different one, which luckily didn't have a high entrance like the previous train. Half an hour later, I arrived at Utrecht Central Station, the end point of my train ride, which means that I'm almost home. I left the train station and stepped on my bike without turning my navigation on. As I cycled home through the familiar streets, I felt I had a smile on my face. What I like about traveling is that I love the adventure, but equally love coming home afterwards. And there I was, biking through my own city again. And of course, this trip could not end without a bit of rain, since I have had rain every single day. While getting closer to my warm bed, I was biking in the rain with a smile. Although the rough start and some cold nights in my tent, I had a wonderful trip. And there it is, my house. Me having apparently a lot of fun in the elevator. And home sweet home. The first thing I did was taking a shower, and then it was time to clear my bags. I do wonder when editing this if I'm the only one clearing out my bags right away, or whether the most of you leave them until the next day or perhaps even longer. Let me know in the comments. Although I didn't really have a lot of energy as the day had been long, I just couldn't help it. I had to empty my bags. So I will continue with that and then go straight to bed. And that brings us at the end of this video, as well as at the end of my backpacking adventure to Berlin. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Oh, and don't forget to check also my other videos. Although this backpacking adventure has come to an end, more is coming. So see you in the next one.